Now I have another Naruto battle for you. And this one's a good one, right? This is Hashirama versus Tobirama. The first Hokage versus second Hokage. The older brother versus the younger brother. Wood style versus water style. Who wins? They'll fight in the final valley. Alright, that's where their battle's gonna take place. With that being said, we have strength, physical strength, striking power, lifting power. That goes to Hashirama Senju. Hashirama Senju had to fight against Madara Uchiha. He had to fight against a fully realized Susanoo. He has that kind of, power to hold that shit back, right? Tobirama's never fought against shit like that, right? Now, Tobirama's fought against, and he's fought against multiple opponents, but not anything that massive with that much mass and doing that shit. Hashirama's doing shit like that, right? Speed wise, Tobirama got that. And you know why he has that. If you're a true Naruto fan, you know he has the flying Raijin Jutsu. He actually created that jutsu, right? So if he created it and he's using that shit, boom, he can teleport to his brother. No matter where he's at. All he has to do is tag him one time. And if he can't touch his brother for whatever reason, he can, tag trees and get away from attacks when necessary. That actually helps him out in this fight, Tobirama, his speed. Durability goes to Hashirama Senju. Slightly tougher, or Hashirama is slightly tougher than Tobirama. Tobirama had his fair share of fighting Uchihas too, but he had to fight against, the most powerful of them, So I give, Hashirama the edge. Endurance-wise too, it goes to Hashirama. He had to fight Madara, for days on end, right? Or not days, but for hours, basically all day. Tobirama, and he ain't doing shit like that. Intellect, I do give it to Tobirama. He's a little bit more serious. That's why. There's people who are like still smart, but not always serious. And Hashirama is actually that kind of guy, right? He's funny. He goofs around a little bit, but when it's time to go, he's on that. But Tobirama's always like that. He's always fucking serious. He's not a guy who ever, I don't think he's ever laughed before. I think he's cracked a smile here and there, but not too much. And Hashirama is not, like that. He's, he's got a better emotional intelligence, I think, than his brother does. But Tobirama he's smart, Experience-wise, which is not the same thing, right? Obviously, Hashirama, the older brother, has that. He was already fighting and competing with Madara before they even realized they were, supposed to, fight each other. It was destiny, that one of them had to basically go. Them being the leaders of their clans after some time, they pushed each other to get stronger, and Madara became the strongest Uchiha. He had to embed his own brother's eyes inside of his head, and Hashirama still beat Madara after that. Tobirama wasn't fighting people like that. He was fighting people, a lot of people, but Hashirama could fight against a whole lot of people too and win. You know, Tobirama died fighting against like a whole bunch of people, right? Who were following Kinkaku and Kinkaku, right? Close skills go to Hashirama. You know who was putting belt ass on the third Hokage when they got reanimated, right? He was Hashirama. Boom, boom, boom. He was hitting them like, he was giving them the fucking hands. Rewatch Naruto and find out what happened to, Hiruzen. Tobirama was in the mix too, but not like Hashirama was really putting it on, right? Range skills go to Hashirama. He has the golem, he has the Buddha hands, he has the he has the golem, the Buddha hands, the wood dragon. He has a lot of things. And Tobirama has, he has reanimation jutsu, but he cannot use it to the degree of Kabuto or even Orochimaru. Orochimaru can summon more than, one. And Tobirama, I'm telling you, niggas, right now, people who watch Naruto, he can only summon one body. Because you gotta remember, he created the jutsu. He's not the best at using it. It was them who took that jutsu and improved upon it. He has that, but all those things versus the shit that Hashirama has, yeah, Hashirama wins that. And then recovery, we don't have to, we don't have to talk too long about that. Hashirama wins 100 healings jutsu better than Tsunade. He didn't even have hand signs. And he's sitting there smiling at his brother like, come on, bro. You can't fuck with me like that. Hacks go to Hashirama. Hashirama Senju has Sage Mode as well. So in Tobirama, you don't have, Sage Mode. He's pretty good at actually. He can sense people's chakra, pretty well, but he don't have Sage Mode. He ain't that in tune with nature like his brother is. Environment goes to Hashirama too. When you talk about water versus, wood, what's happening? The water's filling the wood, basically making it more powerful, right? This fight is still high difficulty, and this is why it's high difficulty. Tobirama, like we know, he created the reanimation jutsu, shadow clone jutsu, and the flying Raijin jutsu. And those jutsus are going to keep him in this fight. But it's still pretty damn obvious that it's Hashirama, the goddess.